We'll get to those stories in just a moment, but first tonight, our top story at 5 o'clock. We're learning new details about a deadly shooting that happened back in September at the Italian American Club. Thanks so much for joining us this afternoon. I'm Tiffany Murphy. That shooting in Warren killed the town's assistant fire chief. Investigators tell us that shooter was drinking heavily before he pulled the trigger and then turned the gun on himself. ABC 6 News reporter Daniel Coates joins us live in the newsroom with more from that hearing today. Daniel?
Tiffany, you may remember back in September, the Department of Business Regulation overruled the Warren Town Council, allowing the Italo-American Club to once again serve alcohol after being briefly shut down after the shooting. Today, members of the DB are hearing arguments as to why the club should lose its liquor license permanently. A hearing held Thursday morning inside the Rhode Island Department of Business Regulation to discuss the fate of the Italo-American Club in Warren. This after a deadly shooting inside the club back in September that took the life of Warren's assistant fire chief.
Entered the Italian club, we saw that there was one victim, a male victim, that was lying on the ground, that was deceased.
Who was it?
It was Brian Remy.
The alleged shooter, Italo-American Club president Michael Ouellette, later taking his own life. Today, new evidence revealing Ouellette had been drinking at the bar prior to the shooting. His BAC at the time, .277.
Did you observe Mr. Ouellette drinking in the Italian club at any time in watching the tape?
I did.
How many beers did you see him consume at the Italian club?
7.
Surveillance video from inside the club showing Ouellette walk up to Remy, who was seated at the bar, and then shoot him. A second victim sitting next to Remy tried to leave, but was also shot.
Mr. Ouellette entered from the back door, pulled out a firearm, and immediately walked towards Brian Remy, who was seated at the bar, and then shot Brian Remy in the head.
Authorities later finding a loaded shotgun and ammo, along with numerous narcotics, in Ouellette's home. Police say the shooting stemmed from some sort of argument, but they don't believe the argument involved Remy.
Did it appear that Mr. Remy spoke at all with Mr. Ouellette?
No, it did not at that point, no.
Now, this case is far from over. It's possible more officers will be called to testify. And if the club's license is revoked, they can still appeal that decision. We'll, of course, keep you updated as this story develops. For now, live in the newsroom, I'm Daniel Coates, ABC 6 News.